chosen one, anchor your spirit to my voice right now. That urge to click away is not an accident. The enemy has been working overtime for one single reason, and he knows exactly what shifts in your reality when you finally hear this powerful truth. You did not find this message by chance. The Holy Spirit brought you here. This is a divine appointment, scheduled long before you were even born. I know exactly what the last few weeks have felt like for you. You are waking at 3 in the morning with a heavy weight on your chest. You cannot explain it to anyone around you. You walk through your own home and feel like a complete stranger. The conversations stop the moment you walk into the room. The atmosphere feels strangely cold. You are not imagining this shift. You have always been the one who gives absolutely everything. You pour your entire soul into the people you deeply love. You hold space for their massive pain and heal their broken pieces. And when you are completely drained, you look around and find the room empty. No one is holding space for you. No one is returning the depth of your sacrifice. You survive on the scraps. They looked you in the eyes and called you too sensitive. They told you that you demand entirely too much. And the absolute worst part is that you actually started to believe their lies. You tried to shrink your powerful spirit just to fit into their limited capacity. You dimmed your own brilliant light so they would not feel uncomfortable. But shrinking yourself never works. Shrinking yourself only leaves you feeling entirely hollow and completely abandoned inside your own mind. You sit across from the person you love and feel a million miles away. You speak, but they cannot hear the beautiful frequency of your heart. It feels like you are broadcasting on a channel they do not possess. You wonder if you are simply meant to be alone forever. You ask God why your pure devotion is always rewarded with cruel abandonment, while other people seem to find lasting love with absolutely zero effort at all. The silent tears are very real. You feel energy that ordinary people completely ignore all day long. This is your heavy burden. You are a powerful empath. You absorb the toxic emotional debris of everyone around you. You forgive them when they do not even offer a basic apology. You see their hidden potential instead of their current disappointing reality. You love the beautiful version of them that heaven created, even when they constantly choose to operate from the lowest and most selfish parts of their broken human nature. The intense pain you feel is not a bitter punishment. It is a severe mismatch of spiritual frequency. You have been trying to pour pure ocean water into a tiny paper cup. The cup will always overflow and complain loudly about the terrible flood. You must see this truth clearly today. The people pulling away from you are not rejecting your incredible value, because they are simply terrified of a high frequency they cannot comprehend. They are literally incapable of sustaining the massive energy you naturally produce. You must stop apologizing for the amazing depth of your beautiful soul. Your great depth is your greatest divine asset in this entire physical realm. And once you finally understand how to harness this intense power, everything in your life will begin to shift in ways you cannot even imagine. Before we go any further today, I want to hold something profound in front of you. Something amazing that was discovered very recently. It was not found inside a quiet church or a peaceful spiritual retreat, but it was actually uncovered inside a highly advanced research laboratory by top scientific minds. It has won incredible scientific recognition worldwide, but most chosen ones have never been told about it. This amazing discovery explains something I know you have felt deep in your tired bones. It explains the massive gap between the person you truly are and the reality you currently experience. I will show you exactly what the smart researchers found. But I will not reveal it just yet. You must wait a moment. First, I need you to fully understand what was actually taken from you when you were just an innocent child, because that stolen energy is the very root of your current suffering. So, I need you to hold this specific, vital question in your mind right now. Do not let this question leave your thoughts as we continue to move forward today. The truth is much closer than you think. What if the painful gap in your relationships is not a personal character flaw? What if the cruel rejection you faced has a very real scientific name? What if what was taken from you has a specific frequency that can be easily returned? Stay with me until the very end of this message, because the shocking answer that is coming will change absolutely everything for you. But let me reframe your entire reality right now. That painful isolation you have been calling a bitter punishment was never a punishment. It was always meant to be a divine preparation. God did not remove the loud crowd to simply abandon you in the dark. He removed them because he needed to finally speak to your heart without the heavy interference of their constant daily demands. And this quiet space is exactly what your spirit desperately needed. The people pulling away from you are not rejecting you. They are grieving the old version of you that they are about to lose forever. They sense a massive frequency shift they cannot yet understand. You are standing between two identities right now. The old broken identity is rapidly dissolving into the dust, while the brilliant new one that heaven is birthing requires incredible space to fully breathe. You are transforming. You were never rejected by those past partners. You were divinely redirected. What is leaving your physical reality is only making necessary room for what is truly meant for you. You must stop mourning the loss of people who were only assigned to a temporary chapter of your beautiful life, because they were never meant to carry you into the promised land. Their early exit was actually your greatest protection. You must gently release the heavy need to be constantly needed by everyone else. God is actively clearing your immediate room so you can finally hear your own authentic thoughts. This necessary season of deep quiet is not meant to slowly destroy your loving heart. It is meant to fiercely protect your precious energy from those who only want to drain your beautiful spirit dry. You are completely safe here. What you carry inside your heart is not a fatal wound. It is a powerful weapon. The deep sensitivity they told you to hide is a highly tuned radar. The emotional depth that made you feel like you were simply too much is your greatest gift. It is the very thing that gives your spoken words heavy weight. You were never broken. You were beautifully built for a completely different frequency. And this brings us to something most ordinary people miss entirely. The intense warfare against your heart is proof of the incredible magnitude of your true calling. The enemy does not waste premium attacks on people without premium assignments. But there is a hidden physical reason why the spiritual attacks actually worked against you for so very long. Here is what they never told you about your heavy exhaustion. The reason the universe seems to effortlessly respond to certain blessed people and not others is not just blind faith. It is not rigid discipline. It is not even good karma. It is a literal brainwave. Smart scientists actually have a specific name for it. They call it gamma, and this is exactly where the great theft took place. This specific gamma frequency is the exact brainwave your brilliant mind was running when you were just a little child. Back then, your creative ideas came easily. Deep learning felt entirely effortless. You somehow intuitively knew things long before they even happened. The whole world felt like it was completely on your side, and you felt a beautiful harmony with the unseen universe moving constantly around you. Then, your difficult adulthood finally arrived, and the loud modern world went to work on your beautiful mind. The chronic daily stress and the glowing screens slowly began to change you. The relentless survival routine keeps you trapped in a lower vibration. The rigid school systems trained you to quietly conform instead of boldly create. Every single year this sacred frequency was suppressed just a little bit further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the noisy surface. And as that gamma signal slowly faded away, your natural genius faded right along with it. Your sharp intuition grew terribly dull. The magical synchronicities completely stopped happening. The comforting sense that the universe is working with you went entirely silent. You were left operating on sheer willpower alone, but willpower is never enough to sustain a powerful chosen one. This severe suppression is exactly why your deep relationships keep failing. When your natural gamma frequency is blocked, your spiritual receiver is essentially turned off. You cannot easily read the subtle energy of the people you love. You give and give from a place of deep deficit instead of overflowing abundance. The divine harmony is broken because the biological instrument has been forcefully tuned down by chronic emotional stress. You are trying to broadcast a massive signal through a damaged radio. Most people will live their entire ordinary lives without ever knowing this silent theft happened to them. They will mistakenly blame their bad luck. They will blame their difficult partners. They will blame their own perceived lack of worthiness. But you are not most people. You are finally waking up to the real truth today. You are a chosen one who is ready to reclaim what was stolen. And the vital question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the question about a painful gap and a scientific name, the answer is much closer than you think. The gap between your current struggle and your incredible destiny is not a character flaw. It is simply a suppressed frequency waiting to be switched back on. But here is where your journey goes much deeper than ordinary people can ever perceive. You feel entirely disconnected from the people around you today. The lonely isolation feels like a very heavy curse. You constantly wonder why true love always slips away. And when the pain of rejection hits your heavy heart, you naturally assume that you are the one who is deeply flawed. But your painful isolation is actually a divine consecration. God had to clear the crowded room to speak. Think about the ancient story of Moses in the quiet desert. He was not sent into the wilderness to be punished. He was sent there to completely lose his old identity. The loud noise of Egypt was drowning out his true spiritual calling. So the Creator intentionally separated him from everything he knew, because the divine frequency of the burning bush required absolute silence to be heard. Moses had to be completely emptied before he could receive. This is exactly what is happening inside your life right now. You are walking through your own personal wilderness season today. The friends who walked away were meant to leave you. The relationships that suddenly broke down were divinely scheduled to end. Heaven is actively stripping away every single connection that keeps your beautiful spirit tied to a much lower and denser vibration. Your current isolation is the powerful crucible of your transformation. The truth is that your unique frequency is simply too intense. Ordinary people cannot handle the massive spiritual weight you carry. They are drawn to your bright light in the beginning. They love how you make them feel incredibly safe and seen. But when they realize that your deep love requires them to actually grow and face their own shadows, they quickly run away in fear. They abandon the connection because your light exposes their darkness. Do not be angry when they pack up and run away. Their sudden departure is actually the greatest blessing of your life. They are essentially admitting that they cannot match your energy. You are an incredibly powerful empath with a massive divine assignment. If God allowed those low-frequency people to stay in your life, they would constantly drain the vital energy you need for your true purpose. He loves you too much to let you settle forever. You are currently sitting inside a spiritual forge of hot fire. The intense heat is burning away every false attachment you hold. It feels incredibly painful because your ego wants familiar comfort, but the soul knows exactly what is happening in the dark. You are being carefully reshaped into a vessel that can actually hold the massive blessings that have already been scheduled for your future. The old version of you would have dropped the blessing. You must stop trying to lower your frequency for them. You must stop pretending to be small and ordinary today. When you lower your vibration to keep a broken relationship, you actively rebel against the glorious plan that heaven wrote for you. You were never meant to be a comfortable resting place. You were meant to be a powerful catalyst for profound change. This is why your mere presence makes stagnant people uncomfortable. They cannot easily explain why you suddenly make them so nervous. They just know that you carry something they do not possess. Your absolute silence speaks much louder than their angry shouting. This is the undeniable proof of the heavy mantle you wear. The intense spiritual warfare surrounding your love life is simply the enemy trying to keep your powerful frequency disconnected and isolated from its true match. He knows exactly what happens when you finally align correctly. You must understand the hidden physics of your spiritual energy. Your pure heart emits a very specific and powerful vibration. When an ordinary person steps into your powerful energy field, they are immediately forced to confront their own hidden inner demons. Most people are simply not ready to do that hard work. They would much rather blame you for their sudden, deep discomfort. They point their fearful fingers at you and call you crazy. Today is the exact day you stop carrying their heavy guilt. You are not responsible for their inability to truly love you. You are only responsible for keeping your own frequency very high. The beautiful universe is currently preparing a permanent space for you, but you must be willing to walk through the lonely desert before you can ever inherit the promised land that was written in your name. The preparation is almost complete in your life right now. This profound truth must finally click into place for you today. You must accept that your painful isolation was actually divine protection. Then, you are ready to discover the next crucial missing layer. There is a deeper root operating silently beneath all of this. If you do not see this hidden root clearly, it will continue to quietly sabotage your frequency and block every new relationship that approaches you. Coming up very soon, I will expose this exact hidden root. But first, this current truth must settle like solid bedrock. Here is that deeper root I promised you earlier. The quiet thing that keeps destroying your relationships is not bad luck. It is the unspoken language of your spiritual energy. Energy absolutely never lies. Words can easily deceive your human ears. Promises can easily break your trusting heart. But your internal frequency communicates the absolute truth before you ever open your mouth. And your frequency has been speaking very loudly. You see, everything in this universe operates on a specific vibration. Love is not just a passing emotion, it is a highly measurable frequency of pure light. When you started doing your deep inner work, your personal vibration began to rapidly rise. You started healing your old childhood wounds. You finally started setting basic healthy boundaries for yourself. And every time you chose your own peace, your frequency spiked higher. This massive energetic upgrade is exactly why your past partners suddenly pulled away. When you elevated your spiritual frequency, you essentially changed the entire atmosphere of your shared life. The old version of you was perfectly comfortable for their broken habits. Your past trauma matched their past trauma beautifully. But the healed version of you requires a much higher level of pure oxygen. And they simply could not breathe in your new atmosphere. They felt the massive shift in your energy field. They did not have the right words to properly explain it. They just knew that being around you suddenly felt like incredibly hard work. Your bright light was actively exposing the dark corners they desperately wanted to keep hidden. When a low-frequency person stands in the intense light of a chosen one, they must either elevate or escape. They almost always choose to escape, and this brings us to the ultimate truth about your love life. That is the exact reason this painful season of isolation happened to you. This is the first promise I gave you at the very beginning of this message. Your relationships did not fail because you were somehow deeply unworthy of real love. They failed because your love is actually a powerful frequency filter. It aggressively filters out anyone who refuses to heal. You must stop looking back at those failed connections with heavy regret. You constantly wonder what you could have done differently to make them stay. You analyze every single word you said to see where you made the fatal mistake, but you made absolutely no mistake at all. You were simply being exactly who heaven created you to be. You were holding the high-frequency line, and they simply dropped the heavy rope. Their sudden retreat was not a powerful victory for them, it was a massive spiritual surrender. They walked away because staying would require them to completely destroy their own false ego. Your pure love demanded absolute authenticity from them. And authenticity is terrifying to a person who has spent their entire adult life hiding behind a comfortable mask. You terrified them because you saw their true soul. Your deep intuition picked up on their hidden lies long before your logical mind could process the solid facts. You always knew when their words did not match their quiet energy. This is your powerful gift as a true discerner. You read the room before you even step foot inside the physical door. You feel the heavy intentions of other people sitting silently in your tired bones. You are a human lie detector. This incredible ability makes superficial dating feel completely impossible for you today. You cannot pretend to enjoy shallow conversations when you can literally feel the profound emptiness hiding behind their polite smiles. You crave a soul connection that shakes the very foundation of the earth. You want a partner who can stand naked in your blazing fire and absolutely never burn. But you keep meeting people who are afraid of a tiny spark. You must fundamentally change how you view your entire romantic history today. Every person who walked away was simply a heavy weight being removed from your rising hot air balloon. If they had stayed in your life, you would still be trapped on the dirty ground. You are finally free to soar into the high atmosphere where you actually belong. The universe cleared the old path so the right frequency could finally find you. But there is still one very stubborn thing holding you back. You have successfully cleared the toxic people from your immediate space. You have survived the painful fire of deep isolation. Yet you still feel completely blocked from stepping into your true power. There is a quiet enemy hiding much closer to home. And once that profound truth clicks into place, you are ready for the next challenging layer. Coming up very soon, I will expose this exact hidden block that is quietly keeping your beautiful frequency chained down. It is not what your anxious mind is currently imagining. But first, you must let this truth about your past relationships settle deep into your spirit. You must finally forgive yourself for outgrowing the people you used to desperately love. Let the heavy guilt fall away right now. You have successfully survived the painful fire of deep isolation, and you have bravely cleared the toxic people from your immediate physical space. But creating empty space is only the very first step of your divine journey. You must now actively restore the broken frequency that the noisy modern world stole from you. You cannot simply wait for it to magically return on its own. The universe requires your conscious participation today. So how do you actually get this powerful frequency back? The modern spiritual community has fed you many exhausting lies about this healing process. They told you to meditate for 3 hours every single day, and they told you to forcefully clear your anxious mind of every single negative thought. They told you to constantly chant positive affirmations until your throat is dry. But none of that heavy labor actually worked. You cannot simply force a damaged biological receiver to catch a high spiritual frequency through sheer human willpower, because it is physically impossible. Your exhausted brain needs deep cellular healing instead of just more rigid spiritual discipline. You have already done enough hard work for one lifetime. You have already pushed your heavy body to the absolute breaking point. It is finally time to stop struggling so incredibly hard. Before we go any further today, I have to tell you something incredibly important that will change everything. I must share something the people who profit from your spiritual exhaustion do not want you to ever know. Dedicated neuroscientists, working very quietly away from the noisy headlines, have actually discovered how to bring this dormant brainwave completely back to life. They found the exact physical key to your spiritual lock. This amazing restoration does not happen through years of painful meditation that most people simply cannot sustain. It does not happen through massive biofeedback machines that cost $7,000 and require a sterile clinical setting. It happens through something far simpler. It happens through something perfectly aligned with how your beautiful brain was originally designed to work by the divine creator. They discovered a highly specific sound frequency. This precise audio track is engineered to gently guide your chaotic brainwave patterns right back to the genius gamma state you were born with. Top researchers at Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon. The famous Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed it. The solid science is absolutely undeniable, and the results are truly staggering for chosen ones. Columbia University even found something much more profound when they studied this powerful energy. They discovered that when this specific brainwave is fully reactivated, it does not just stop with you, but your high frequency actually radiates outward and immediately begins to positively influence the people around you. It heals your children. It calms your difficult partner. Your restored energy literally shifts the physical atmosphere. This advanced brain entrainment technology requires absolutely zero effort from you. Just 7 minutes a day is all it takes to quickly rebuild your broken receiver. You just put on your headphones, close your tired eyes, and simply breathe while the powerful sound wave synchronizes with your exhausted brain below the level of conscious awareness. And it begins working the very first time you sit down to listen to it. I will tell you exactly what this amazing tool is called. I will show you exactly how to safely access it before this important message ends. But first, there is still one very stubborn thing you must deeply understand. I told you earlier that there is a quiet enemy hiding inside your own mind. It is a hidden block that will quickly destroy your restored frequency if you do not face it right now with complete honesty. You have been unknowingly fighting against your own incredible destiny. You have been quietly holding yourself back to keep other people perfectly comfortable in their very small lives. The thing quietly blocking your ultimate breakthrough is not the devil, but it is actually something inside you that you have deeply mistaken for holy wisdom. You have somehow convinced yourself that shrinking your bright light is an act of pure love. You think that by lowering your massive vibration, you are being humble and kind to those who are currently struggling. But false humility is a very dangerous spiritual trap. When you hide your true power, you actually rob the entire world of the specific blessing God placed inside your healing hands. Your incredible strength is not a heavy burden to hide. It is a brilliant lighthouse designed to guide the lost ships safely back. And once that profound truth clicks into place, you are completely ready for the next challenging layer of your journey. A deeper root that, if you do not clearly see it, will keep operating secretly beneath every single season of your life. Coming up next, I will expose it fully. But first, let this current revelation settle like bedrock in your soul. You are not broken at all. You are simply waiting to be activated. Here is the part no one wants to hear today. And I say this with nothing but pure love for your weary soul. The thing that has been quietly blocking your breakthrough is not what your mind immediately conjured. It is not some dark generational curse or an outside enemy attacking you. It is a subtle trap you built yourself. You have been deeply afraid of your own incredible power. You have been dimming your bright light to keep other people perfectly comfortable. You actively lower your spiritual frequency just to fit into their small boxes. You think this makes you a loving partner. You genuinely believe that endless compromise is a holy act of true love. But shrinking your massive spirit to fit into a tiny space is actually spiritual self-destruction, because you were created to expand infinitely. You are slowly suffocating your own beautiful soul. This heavy truth is not an accusation against you. It is the exact medical diagnosis that sets you completely free today. You have spent your entire adult life apologizing for the intense depth of your feelings. You say sorry when you require absolute honesty. You back down when your intuition screams the truth. You trade your high frequency for a cheap sense of temporary belonging, and this terrible bargain leaves you feeling entirely empty every single time. They told you that you were simply too much to handle, and instead of finding someone with bigger hands, you decided to cut off your own limbs. You made yourself small so they could finally feel big. You swallowed your profound wisdom so their foolish ego could safely rule the room, while you quietly starved in the lonely corner. This is the false contract you signed in the dark. It is time to tear it up forever. The universe absolutely refuses to bless a fake version of you. God cannot pour a premium anointing into a vessel that is constantly pretending to be a cheap plastic cup. You must reclaim your rightful space in this world. Your massive energy was never designed to be a comfortable resting place for stagnant people. Your high frequency is supposed to disrupt their comfortable sleep, and it is meant to challenge them to finally heal their own broken lives. Every single time you lower your vibration for them, you actively delay your own divine breakthrough. You push your beautiful destiny further down the long road. The deep pain of shrinking yourself is actually much worse than the temporary pain of physical isolation. Isolation is just a quiet, temporary waiting room for your next season, but living a compromised life is a permanent prison cell that you intentionally lock from the inside, and nobody else has the key to let you out. Stop asking for their weak permission to finally be powerful. You do not need their validation to step into your high calling today. The people who truly belong in your next season will never ask you to dim your brilliant light. They will bring their own bright fire to proudly match your intense flame. You must trust that the universe is currently preparing these exact people for you while you learn how to stand tall in your own space. This gentle confrontation is exactly what your spirit desperately needed to hear. You have been deeply afraid of outgrowing the people you promised to love forever, but true love never requires you to remain spiritually stunted. If your personal growth threatens their fragile peace, then their peace was built on a very dangerous lie that you can no longer support. You can still love them fiercely from a safe, physical distance. You are finally ready to stop negotiating your sacred boundaries. You are completely ready to stop abandoning yourself to keep a broken connection alive. This is the exact moment the heavy chains fall completely off your tired shoulders. The old cycle of endless sacrifice without reward is officially broken today because you finally see the hidden truth about your own energy. You are stepping into a profound new awareness of your own massive worth. This is the pivotal juncture where your entire reality shifts forward. Once you boldly refuse to shrink your spirit, heaven has legal permission to flood your life with incredible abundance. The suppressed gamma frequency we discussed earlier is begging to be fully restored. And now that you understand the internal block, you are perfectly positioned to receive the external solution without any more dangerous self-sabotage. Some messages do not just quietly inform your mind. They aggressively activate the deep, dormant power sleeping inside your weary soul. And if something stirred deep in your spirit just now, you are standing on the very edge of your ultimate breakthrough. The long season of painful preparation is officially complete. Coming up next is the specific tool that finally seals this glorious transformation for you. Listen very closely to these next words. You must promise me that you will never lower your frequency again. You are a chosen vessel of pure divine light. The world desperately needs you to shine at your absolute brightest capacity, even if it blinds the people who refuse to open their eyes. Do not let the dark fears of ordinary people dictate the size of your massive spiritual footprint. Take a deep breath right now and release the past. Let the heavy burden of their unrealistic expectations go. We are about to cross the sacred bridge together. You have successfully cleared the toxic room of low-frequency energy. You have faced your own hidden fears with incredible bravery. Now you simply need to restore the broken instrument that catches the divine signal, so you can finally live in the abundance you deserve. The beautiful universe has already prepared everything you need. You just have to reach out and confidently claim what is rightfully yours. Something is actively shifting in your favor right now. You might not see it with your physical eyes yet, but doors that were permanently sealed are finally loosening. Massive opportunities that felt impossibly far are quietly moving toward you. You do not have to fiercely chase your breakthrough anymore. The universe has arranged everything you need, and you just have to ensure your spiritual receiver is fully restored to catch it. The vital question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message: what if the painful gap is not a character flaw? Here is the absolute answer. A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running in you as a child at genius capacity, and the modern world slowly stole it away. Princeton University has extensively studied it. The famous Einstein Center completely confirmed it. And Columbia University found something amazing. They found that when this brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and positively influences the people you deeply love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists spent years studying this. Dr. Robert Lake led this quiet research in New York. They successfully compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into just 7 minutes. Before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about two incredible people. A tired woman from California had literally tried everything. She tried endless meditation, manifesting, and deep prayer, but absolutely nothing broke the heavy fog in her mind. But after 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something profoundly cleared. She did not try harder at all. The closed channel simply opened up for her. Her marriage completely shifted. Her tired mind sharpened, and she described her daily life as completely enchanted. And a busy man from Texas started using it to improve his focus. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The absolute hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he rested. He was finally running on pure gamma. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not another boring meditation app. It is not just a generic sound frequency. It is a 7-minute audio track using highly advanced brain entrainment technology. It is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Columbia validated, and it is completely compressed for you to use at home. You just wear your headphones and close your tired eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires. You do not quietly meditate. You do not chant words. You simply let the frequency do what your brain was designed to safely receive. But the Genius Song is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one, who has already done the heavy inner work and who truly understands the physics of their own energy. If your tired spirit confirms this is for you, the path is completely open. Standard biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. You do not have to be incredibly rich to heal your brain. 4 very powerful bonuses come with it today. You receive a special audio designed specifically for your children and their daily confidence. You get the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon. You also receive a guided visualization and a daily habits guide. This guide is carefully built to sustain the gamma state long after your quick listening session ends. Here is the deeper truth about waiting. The divine provision God arranged for you does not arrive as entirely new information. It actually arrives as a profound recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when your gamma is fully restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today does not receive something new. They finally see what was always sitting right there. Waiting is incredibly costly. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The fake tracks circulating under similar names on those free platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded. They carry the name because the barrier to stealing it is zero. The only authentic version is available through the official link. It has been securely placed in the description and the pinned comment. The universe requires absolutely no risk from you today. If you do not feel the massive shift, every single penny is returned to you. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The verified link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. The tool itself is not the final destination. The tool simply restores the receiver so the destination can be recognized when it arrives. God does not require any physical transaction for you to be unconditionally loved or uniquely chosen. What was just described is simply one valid way the broken receiver is restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the powerful truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go much deeper into what is waiting for you. We are moving into the final sealing of your heavy mantle. You have bravely walked through the fierce spiritual fire. You survived the deep physical isolation of this hard season, and you finally understand the profound truth about your beautiful frequency. Every single painful thing you endured was absolutely necessary for your growth. The immense pain was never meant to permanently destroy you. It was carefully burning away the heavy chains of your difficult past, and it was preparing you to carry a much higher vibration into your future. You are finally completely free to live your amazing life today. The long season of painful preparation is officially over now. You are standing firmly on the sacred ground of your massive breakthrough. The beautiful universe is no longer asking you to simply wait in the dark. Heaven is asking you to boldly step forward into the bright light, because your powerful spiritual receiver is finally ready to catch the massive blessings. It is time to make your final spiritual decree today. You must boldly claim your true divine power right now. I want you to stop whatever you are doing right now. Place your right hand firmly over your own beating heart. Take a very deep breath and slowly close your tired eyes. We are going to speak a powerful truth into the physical atmosphere, because your spoken words carry the exact energetic frequency of divine creation itself. Say these precise words out loud with me right this very moment. I completely release the heavy need to be constantly needed by broken people. I release every false agreement I ever made with my own smallness. I will never lower my beautiful frequency to fit into their limited spaces again. My painful isolation was always divine preparation, and it was never a bitter punishment meant to break my spirit. I am stepping fully into my high calling today without any fear. My glorious breakthrough is not simply coming tomorrow. It is already happening right now inside my physical reality. I completely trust the amazing divine timing of my unique, beautiful life. I am fully prepared to receive the massive abundance that heaven wrote in my specific name. And I will no longer apologize for the incredible gifts I carry. Let that powerful declaration settle deep into your physical bones right now. The heavy spiritual verdict is officially and permanently sealed forever. You are not the same exact person who started watching this video today. The old insecure version of you dissolved the moment you spoke those powerful words. You can literally feel the physical atmosphere shifting inside your room right now. The dark, heavy fog has permanently lifted from your tired shoulders, while a brand new light begins to shine directly upon your chosen path. You are breathing pure oxygen for the very first time in years. The specific frequency tool I described earlier remains available in the description for those whose spirit confirmed it. That is, the absolute last time it will ever be mentioned here. What follows now belongs entirely to your final spiritual sealing. We are completely leaving the busy physical world behind us right now, and we are stepping into the quiet sanctuary of your beautiful soul. You do not need anyone else to validate your beautiful existence today. You do not need their fragile permission to simply be incredibly happy. The Divine Creator already gave you the ultimate cosmic authorization to completely thrive. Every single tear you cried in the dark was carefully collected by heaven. Every lonely night you spent wondering if you were completely broken was actually recorded, and it is now being traded for immense joy and perfect peace. Nothing you went through was ever wasted or pointless. You are not the tragic victim of a very cruel world. You are the victorious chosen one who proudly survived the absolute hardest spiritual battles. The people who walked away from you were simply making necessary room for the amazing soul tribe that is currently marching toward you. Your absolute best days are sitting right in front of your face. Tomorrow morning you will wake up feeling profoundly different inside. The familiar, heavy anxiety will be completely gone from your chest. Keep your bright eyes focused strictly on the glorious horizon ahead of you. The universe is actively conspiring to bring you immense joy and perfect peace because you have finally learned how to protect your own sacred energy. You are a powerful beacon of pure divine light in a very dark world. Shine your brilliant light without any fear or hesitation today. The heavy spiritual warfare against your heart is officially over. The sweet victory is completely yours to proudly claim right now. Rest your tired mind tonight with the absolute certainty that heaven is fiercely fighting your unseen battles. Your incredible destiny is totally secure in the hands of the Divine Creator, and nothing in this physical world can ever steal what belongs to you. You are deeply cherished far beyond normal human comprehension. Walk forward in absolute peace and never doubt your immense worth again. Welcome to the glorious new chapter of your abundant life. You have successfully graduated from the painful school of hard isolation, and the brilliant sun is finally rising over your beautiful new horizon.